Welcome back, everyone, to the Queen of TV channel. Let's talk about a few things first before we get into our intro. Please watch the video to the very end and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. There will be cursing and profanity in this video. If that's not your cup of tea, this channel is not for you. I will be giving my honest opinion about the episode and the show as a whole. There will be no video for Wednesday. That's tomorrow. And lastly, we'll be finishing season 1 of H2O today. With all that being said, let's get into our intro. Welcome, everyone. I am your host, the Queen herself, and you are the Prince and Princesses. Why? Because you're either a subscriber or you are a viewer. Either way, welcome. Today we are talking about H2O Season 1, Episode 17, Under the Weather. We meet up at Emma's house. That's where our episode starts off. Emma, Cleo, and Ricky are enjoying Emma's mother's famous homemade peach yogurt. Emma realizes they're going to be late for school. She tries to pack and get everything ready. But Cleo and Ricky are procrastinating. Emma realizes that neither one of them have studied, and she pressures them to get up, get ready, so they can go to school. They reluctantly do so, and before they can even walk out the door, they start to notice that it's about to storm. Now, Cleo had watched the news last night and thought that it was supposed to clear up. Well, it doesn't. It's pouring down rain. They decide to retreat back into the house where they're confronted with Emma's mother, Lisa. She says that she will drive them to school instead. Now, they still hesitate because it is raining and they cannot get wet. Cleo ends up fainting, and while Emma's mother is worried about Cleo, Emma and Ricky are suspicious. Cleo admits that she faked herself fainting as a way to get out of her being able to be driven to school so she wouldn't get wet. Well, Lisa decides to test Cleo's temperature. Cleo hesitates, but eventually agrees to allow her to check her temperature. Ricky uses her powers on the thermometer, causing it to heat up to make it seem like Cleo's temperature has risen. Well, she is very concerned when Lisa says that it seems pretty high, so maybe I'm guessing that Cleo might show a temperature well over 100, because we don't actually see what the temperature was, but we know that it's supposed to be bad and also not normal. Lisa still decides to take Emma and Ricky to school. They both don't like this idea, and they still notice that it is raining. So they too decide to pretend to be sick. Lisa believes that it must have been the yogurt and tries to stop Elliot from eating it, but it's too late. He already has. She decides to call Dr. Holt. And from here on out, I will be calling their parents by their actual names, including the doctor herself. So while the girls are still faking to be sick, Dr. Holt, whose name is Miranda, shows up, and Ricky decides to use her powers on Cleo, Emma's, and her skin to make it seem like they got red spots all over. Miranda notices them and asks Lisa if they were there before. Lisa says she's never seen them before and this must have just happened. Well, Miranda checks their temperatures, and apparently Emma decides to use her powers as well on the thermometers, making it seem like their temperatures are very low. Miranda decides to inform a colleague of hers so they could try to figure out what's going on with the girls. The girls decide that they can just make a miraculous recovery once the rain stops. Well, those ideas are quickly dashed because once Neil shows up, who is Emma's father, by the way, Dr. Miranda informs both parents that this is a serious outbreak and everybody has to be quarantined. No one comes in and no one goes out. Yeah, the girls are in trouble. So the girls are taken to Emma's room and they are tested on. Dr. Holt tells them that she wants to know everything about them. Well, Lewis shows up. Lewis wants to come check up on the girls, but he's not let in. So he tries calling Emma and she tries to do her best to explain to him what happened, but her mom stops her. So Lewis has to figure out a way to sneak into the house. While the girls are upstairs, Cleo's parents show up. Her mother Bev and her father Dom, along with her little sister Kim. Miranda tells them that she understands that they are concerned parents. She is too, but they are now in quarantine. Now, I missed this in my first and second time of recapping this, but Cleo's mom mentions that they actually called Ricky's father. So that's actually the first time we hear about Ricky's parents. So at least now we can say that he does exist. They just don't show him. And his name is Terry, by the way. They don't say this in the episode. They say this in season 2. So Lewis is able to get in through the back door, which wasn't locked for some reason. And he asks the girls what's going on. But before he can ask any more questions, Cleo's mom comes up to try to give them some warm towels put on their heads and give them foot massages. Well, while Lewis is hiding under the bed, the girls notice that the towels are wet. They have to hide their mermaid tails. Lewis gives them some assistance when one of the tails kind of flaps over his head and he has to push it under the covers. Cleo is able to convince everybody that it's time for them to leave. Dr. Holt agrees. She ends up checking their temperatures again, which come back normal. So the girls think that's a good thing. And Dr. Holt, however, being very vague, does not seem convinced. She leaves. Lewis confronts the girls for them lying, where he says liars never prosper. Cleo corrects him and says cheats. Cheaters never prosper. But Emma says Lewis is right. They should not have lied. Ricky tells Lewis to give them some dry towels. While the girls are drying off, Dr. Holt tells the family that this might be a serious case. Now, ever since Kim got there, she did not believe whatsoever that they were sick. She even drank from a glass that Elliot was drinking from because he's the one that let them in the first place. But Elliot said there's no way that Emma is lying because they have a family policy. They do not lie to each other. Hell, throughout this episode, Emma feels bad with lying to her parents. But they are already in too deep. After they finish drying off, they see that it stopped raining. So now they want to put their plan in action. They're finna go downstairs, tell everybody they feel so much better and that they're fine. Well, Dr. Holt, however, tells them they cannot leave and that if they go outside, she is going to quarantine the entire street. I don't know how she's going to do that when everybody comes back testing negative for sickness, but oh well. They don't listen to her, and the girls try to get outside where they are confronted by dozens of people in white hazmat suits. And they slowly back away. They tell them they're going nowhere. The girls retreat to Emma's bathroom and they try to figure out what they're going to do. Cleo doesn't know what to do, and in this type of stressful situation, Ricky does not know what to do. Emma is done. She wants to tell the truth, and that's what she does before they can take them away. She says that they've lied and they did it to get out of the exam. But Elliot apparently had been saying that he did feel sick and Kim thought he was faking it, only to find out that Elliot got the measles. So he wasn't faking. I wonder if this is going to come back to bite Kim in the ass. But somehow the girls don't get in trouble or get grounded. They're at Cleo's house. They're getting ready for a dance. Before they can finish talking about the situation, Cleo is able to shush Emma and Ricky because by the time she gets to the door and open it, Kim falls inside. Kim is caught red-handed trying to snoop and spy on them. Something she does a lot because Cleo gets on her case about snooping around, but she notices that Kim has a bunch of red tiny spots all over her face. Emma laughs and says that it is Elliot's measles. Kim runs to the bathroom where she realizes that the drink that Elliot had told her not to drink from, but she did, end up making her get his measles. So Elliot was contagious. And the girls laugh their asses off. And the episode ends like this. So let's get into my review. Well, you know what? This all could have been avoided. This episode was very funny, but it could have been avoided. I don't know why they didn't just say that they have stomach pain. Like, it wouldn't have been so bad if they hadn't used their powers on the thermometers. Because Ricky tried to make it seem like Cleo's temperature was like burning hot, but her skin is not hot at all. And then her causing them to have these red marks on their body, and then Emma deciding to like cause the thermometers to like lower in temperature, like they're having cold flashes. It's like you guys are making it worse. Just say that you have fucking dizziness and stomach cramps. They'll give you medicine for it. Pretend you took the medicine and that you're getting better. Why are you using your powers? Like, it's like you can't even ask for this shit to get worse. Even though they didn't have Lewis do too much, I cannot believe that the school had decided that they were so worried about these three girls, they decided to cancel the entire exam. Because that's what Lewis tells us. But it's like, no one's going to question how the hell it was possible for them to do what they did to those thermometers, because, like, it makes no sense. How did all that stuff happen if they were faking it? But their parents take their words for it. And how come they didn't get fucking grounded? Like, this, the jumping jacks that they took to ensure that they did not take this exam, that they damn near got hauled off to some giant ass dome, isolated, shut down hospital, completely quarantined for the rest of their lives. and they didn't get grounded makes no sense to me. How do y'all not get grounded? They probably let them go to the dance. Raise your hands if your parents would have let you go to the dance if you pull some shit like this. I bet nobody's hand is raised. Because if your hand is raised, your parents don't give two shits about you. Like, it's like, and how worried their parents were. And I think it's very funny that the doctor was telling Cleo's mom that Cleo needs rest. And Cleo's mom, Bev, is like, Cleo doesn't need rest. She needs her mother. I used to do this remedy with them when they were little girls, and it's always worked. Like, damn. Like, come on. Tell me that you don't want me doctoring your child without telling me you don't want me to be a doctor to your child. You telling me that you can take care of your kid better than me and I'm the one with the degree? There is no way. There is no way I would ever be a doctor, a nurse, a specialist, or anything. Ain't no parent for to talk to me like that. There's no way. Like, woman, the nerve of you. Nobody questions how Lewis got into the house. He just shows up. So, and I guess that's it. They get away with it. Him, however, the only one that believed that they were faking, somehow gets humbled by getting Elliot's measles for not believing that they were sick. Well, I guess it also has to do with the fact that she didn't believe that Elliot also wasn't sick, even though he did get sick once it stopped raining, because measles don't just show symptoms immediately. Like, when you get sick with certain things, it takes time for you to actually have the symptoms to this sickness that you got. But basically, this was like COVID-19 before COVID-19 even happened. And I don't even know what to title this video, because I'm not even sure if I want to put COVID in the title, because I don't want people to get upset and be like, oh, you shouldn't try to make fun of that, even though that's basically what this is. Because they sitting here talking about everybody got to be quarantined because they might get sick. Bear in mind, you ain't none of y'all wearing masks. And on top of that, y'all are around them, breathing the same air as them. If the doctor knows how contagious this is, wouldn't she be wearing a mask? And after all those testings they test their blood, they test their spit. They didn't find no mermaid DNA. I had just realized that watching this. They did not find out they were mermaids. So they got lucky. They got lucky because all those tests that she took, they did not find out they was mermaids. On top of that, this is the first time we hear about Ricky's dad. So we know that Ricky's from a single parent household, but the fact that Cleo's parents have his number, it just shows you how close Ricky got to the girls. But I don't understand why they did this with Ricky. They gave Emma and Cleo parents, but like Ricky and Lewis, they didn't give him any parents. They gave Lewis a brother, but they didn't give him no parents. So I guess they didn't have it in the budget. But that's all I got for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed the content of the video. Either way, have a blessed day, guys, and have a wonderful day. And if no one has told you this today, I'm telling you, I love you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. But you already know, this ain't the last time we're going to see each other. Till then, bye guys.